Hey guys, what up? Welcome back. So today I'm going to let you guys know how I got on the Wendy Williams show, and then I'm also just going to give you guys some wisdom on how to create and manifest your own visions using a vision board. And if you hang around a little bit longer, then I'll answer your questions about how I started modeling. So first things first, you're definitely going to need some supplies, good old canvas, some foam brushes. You can grab these at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, the dollar store, some scissors, some glue, or Modge Podge. Modge Podge works better because it's like a clear sealant. So my painters, what's good? If you guys have any of this, a glue stick, tape, any of that'll work. Then you want to grab some inspirational magazines or books, anything to your liking, and then we're going to use these to actually, cut things out with. Me personally, I love fashion. I just happen to have a whole bunch of fashion books laying around the house because that's kind of my thing. But, any images or text, anything that, inspires you or makes you happy will work just fine. I try to just pick things that align with keywords that are associated with my goals. And then I cut those pictures out and then I stick them on the board. So I'm just flipping some images here so you guys can see like what type of images and graphics, text, fonts, styles are in this book specifically. And it might inspire you to figure out what you want your board to look like. Right, so here's my cutout images, and essentially what you're going to do is you're just going to cut them out and then you're going to organize them on the board how you see fit. Alright guys, so I want you to pay close attention to these vision boards. These are some of my old boards starting with the year 2018. I thought of my specific goals and things that I wanted to accomplish for the year, and this is what ended up going on my board. If you guys look very closely, you'll see very specific ideas and thoughts, and you can just get an idea of like how I layered just different text and images together to manifest my vision for that year. This is 2019. Pay close attention to this board, guys. Very close attention. Also, guys, don't mind Drake on here. I really wanted to go to OVO Fest like in the near future. I'm not sure if that's still a thing, but yeah. Okay, guys, so this is 2020. On this board, it was nothing too specific. Still modeling, wanted to focus on honoring my divine self and just being aligned with my own energy. I had some key quotes and phrases on here for my attitude and mindset going forward. And then I wanted to travel to California, among some other very personal items. So, where do I start? How did I end up on Wendy Williams, you ask? I credit God as the foundation of my faith and the reason why I'm afforded so many opportunities. I've really seen my life change just by like practicing suggested wisdom. Again, that was all about part of the process. I would like to think that, I ended up on Wendy Williams because I put it on my vision board. Like, I don't know if you guys were paying attention in those clips that I showed you, but in the clips that I showed you of all of my boards past, they had the same themes. And those themes were modeling, beauty, fashion, and some sort of entertainment related thing. It was actually a present. It was a birthday present for my mom. Her birthday is around Christmas, and I always like topping the gifts that I give people every year because I don't know, I'm just like that as a person. I always like to like do the most, and I applied to the show. So if you want to go to Wendy Williams show, or if you would like to be a co-host or a guest, not a guest star, if you would like to be a co-host on the Wendy Williams show, you can actually apply on her website. And basically it's a submission form. You just enter your contact details and everything, and you submit a screenshot of yourself. So for me, what I did, my sneaky self, I basically didn't tell anybody anything, and I just went on and I applied and I put my screenshot. I knew I was cute, so I was like, oh, they'll probably pick me. So I put up my best photo and I submitted the form, and it's like a lottery system and you have to wait for a few weeks. A few weeks pass by and I get a email letting me know that, hey, this isn't a confirmation, but you are semi-confirmed, basically. Like, you're welcome to show up and stand in line and, you're in. So yeah, with Wendy Williams, it's basically a lottery system. That's something I didn't actually know or understand before. I took my best friend and her mom, and I took my mom, and we went as a gift for my mom's birthday. We stood in line maybe for like less than an hour. It wasn't too bad. It was raining that day that we went, but it was actually a lot of fun, and her team is really nice. Like, they're so welcoming, and they talked to us while we were waiting in line. So eventually we are invited into the studio, and but before you go in the studio, you do have to go through security, and they like pat you down. They do the whole nine, like it's not a game. But eventually you go in, and then we're put in this holding area, like all of the guests that were invited to the show, and they have us fill out these questionnaire cards, and the questionnaire cards actually ask us questions like, what do you want to ask Wendy, and blah blah blah. Like, they just have the questions of the day basically, or whatever the staff can work from to like keep content flowing keep content flowing through the show. So eventually, I fill out my information. I'm not sure what the team saw in me, but I was really thankful for, being spotlighted. The guests are seated in a particular way. Okay, so Wendy, before you come to the show, Wendy and her team advise that you should wear bright colors if you want to stand out, like because you're being on TV, and that's kind of like the rule of thumb for anything in relation to like on-screen media presence, is you should always wear a bright color. Specifically, you want to wear like sky blues and yellows and like very solid primary colors. They stand out on camera, and usually when you're auditioning, especially if it's for an acting role, they'll ask you to do that, or at least that's what I learned in my training. But anyway, yeah, we follow through with the procedure. The security team walks us in, and I got split up from my family. It was actually very strange. Like, we went in together, so I thought we were all gonna sit together. Honestly, everything was happening so quick. Like, they were asking me questions, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. They were like, yeah, do you want to sit up front? Do you mind being, in the front row? And I was like, sure, why not? And I realized it was only one seat, but me, I was like, I live too far away to pass up this opportunity. So I was like, you know what? I dressed really nice that day. I was excited to see the show. So I had never done anything like this before in my life, mind you guys. Like, I don't do this. This is not my thing. I don't do this. Like, I'm very shy, like my privacy. I'm not really a type of person that likes to have cameras in my face 24/7. So, I don't know, I was just feeling really ballsy that day, and I was like, sure, why not? I'll sit in the front row. The show starts, and we go through the processes of being co-host for Wendy's show. We have to be full of energy, and we kind of like cheer her on as she comes on the stage. And little did I know, I was gonna get picked for eye candy of the day. We had like a commercial break or something, and the intern came and got me out of my seat in the front row, and I was sitting next to this girl, like this random girl I didn't know. And he came and got me out the seat, and he was like, oh, I love your look. Do you mind being eye candy of the day? And I was like, wait, what? Like, I literally just came to see the show. I had no idea I was gonna get picked for this. It was really shocking. I kind of just went with the flow. I went with it, and the guy ran through everything really fast. He was like, okay, so you're gonna slate your name. We're gonna have a little moment. You're gonna describe your outfit. Wendy's gonna ask blah 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 blah, and then you go and this and that blah blah blah. We commenced the show moving forward. Wendy interviews her guest for the day, like her real celebrity guest for the day, and eye candy comes up. So I do what I was told, and I strut across the runway, the little mini faux runway, whatever it is. I was totally having a Kelly Stamps moment. Okay, sis, shout out Kelly Stamps, hey girl. But yeah, that day was like full of adrenaline, but it was so much fun. Thank you again, Auntie Wendy, for making me eye candy of the day. I really enjoyed myself, and I really wasn't expecting for you to pick me like at all. But Wendy is so nice and she really knows her stuff. Like she's so quick. Like she really understands that industry and I had a lot of fun. But that's how I ended up on Wendy Williams' show and I ended up getting my diva fan. So that was a really memorable moment and this was only last year. So you guys want to know how I got into the modeling industry? Where did I get my start? Okay, I'm going to try to answer this question as quickly and as shortly as possible because it's quite a long story. I would say throughout my whole life growing up, people have always made comments about like me being cute. Oh, she's so petite, like based off of my stature and my size. Mind you, I'm pretty short. I'm only like in between 5'3" and 5'4". So yes, if you put me in the 5-foot end of the pool, like the water will be up to my neck like this. So I got my start in the modeling industry in a very weird way. It's not something that I ever considered myself doing. I pretty much had a normal childhood. I didn't have any super amazing genetic features that made me stand out or anything. Just was like a normal kid. Well, around that preteen age is when I was found. I don't want to say discovered because I'm not a huge model. So I was walking around the mall one day. I can't remember if I was with my mom or with my friends, but I was definitely like within a preteen age range. I want to say I was in between the ages of like 13 and like 15 years old. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen these stands or kiosks in the mall, but they're literally like usually people sitting at these desks, similar to like the Abercrombie approach, but essentially it was this black table and this lady stopped me and she was like, "You're so cute, would you like to be a model? Would you like to go to modeling school?" Something along those lines. And whoever I was with, we paid them the time of the day and I stopped at the table and basically I was scouted and the organization is called Barbizon Management. So my unit was Barbizon JMT and that is how I got started in modeling. But no, it wasn't something that I ever planned or picked for myself. It kind of randomly just happened. These stands still exist to this day and I actually just saw one like a few weeks ago. So Barbizon is actually a modeling school and that's where I learned the basics about like how to do my makeup, stage presence, and walking the runway, backstage show etiquette, those sorts of things. And I would have this class like once a week for a certain period of time on the weekends. I believe it was Saturday. And I had to take the bus from where I live, not like the regular city bus, but it was like a charter bus and like the secret location. And that's where we had our modeling classes. I had teachers. We actually had multiple teachers. And they were our coaches. So that prepared me for a competition that eventually I auditioned for and I got selected. And when I got selected at this audition, which is called IMTA, or when I got selected to go to this competition, which is called IMTA, which stands for International Modeling Talent Association, was when I was recruited to go to New York to this huge modeling competition. And basically, it's where a lot of famous Disney stars and other industry professionals were discovered at a young age. And it was a really long process. While I was taking classes, I actually had to ask for help and my parents like helped me fundraise money to go to this competition because not only are you going to the competition, but you had to pay for like your room and board in the hotel. You had to have certain outfits for auditions and things. We had to get pictures taken for headshots, the whole nine, like a photo shoot and everything was staged. So it was a lot of money, but eventually I got there and then I was on the dance team there as well. And we actually won an award. We won first place for our team hip hop dance routine. So this is my award. It says team player. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm doing the most, like they even cut my hair. My hair was much longer than this. It was like twice as long and they made me cut it for the sake of this photo shoot. But it's mandatory to have these type of portfolios because you take them to your auditions, what they call go-sees. If you guys watch America's Next Top Model, slate your name. Hi, my name is so-and-so. You give them the book, they check you out, you do your walk, and then you leave. And that's basically, they'll call you if they're interested. But yeah, my vision board was a large part of how I ended up doing the things that I do today. And I can't even really explain that. I want to kind of just say it was destiny, as cheesy as that sounds. Like, this is something that I never really had my mind focused on. I was always very career driven and subject oriented in school, so I really like to learn and things like that. But this was always something that was kind of mentioned to me, and people strongly encouraged me to like continue to move forward in. All right, guys, you can actually rewind this video, and I highly recommend that you do, and look at what I put on my board, and you guys tell me if anything came true.